And my mouth is literally watering at the smell of these, so I think that's a really good sign. Hey guys, okay, so I'm back in the kitchen doing another world's best recipe video, and today we're going with the Barbie theme again because the Barbie movie is coming out, and maybe it's probably already out by the time you're watching this, but we figured we're gonna ask artificial intelligence to give us the best possible recipe for a Barbie themed appetizer for any sort of Barbie party. You could have a birthday party years down the road, you could have a premiere party, you could have any type of Barbie themed party, and so let's ask ChatGPT what we should do as far as best recipes for appetizers. And this is what we got, okay? So I'll put it up on the screen, but basically it came out with Barbie Dreamland Bites. Not saying that that Barbie Dreamland bites as in it sucks, but like, you know, they're little bites for Barbie's Dreamland. I don't know. ChatGPT didn't do a great job of naming this one, but they sound pretty good. Sounds like a good appetizer. I don't know how Barbie-ish they're gonna be. We'll see what we get when we're all done, but I will say it starts off with some cooked chicken, which I don't have, but I do have some boneless, skinless chicken breasts. So we're gonna cook the chicken the best way I know how to. So when it comes to shredded chicken, right? If a recipe calls for shredded chicken, my favorite thing to do is just pop it in a pot of water, boil it for like 20 minutes until the internal temperature reads 165 degrees. It's lazy, but it's pretty efficient, so we're gonna do that.
I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work.
I don't know, to me, like cooking chicken in the oven, especially like boneless, skinless chicken breasts, it's kind of a pain. They often end up cooking on the outside, not the inside, and you're checking them constantly. The only way I can ever really do a good job cooking chicken in the oven is thin slice it, and then it goes pretty well. But you know, I don't wanna have to worry about it. These are huge chicken breasts from Walmart, and I'm just gonna plop them in some water. And it only calls for a pound of chicken, so I'm gonna do 2 chicken breasts. And basically the way I do it is I just put them in the water, put them on the oven on high, let it come to a boil, then I turn it down a little bit, and then I just pull it out every couple minutes to see if it's at 165 internal. I don't even think it's really necessary to move the cameras over there. Maybe I'll use my cell phone and let you see what it looks like, but it's not that exciting. I figure we can be productive anyways, even though the chicken's cooking. And the way we can be productive is by working on the next step. So it says ChatGPT told us to preheat the oven to 400 degrees, which I've just done, and then take some parchment paper and line a baking sheet. So boom, we just accomplished 2 things on the list, and that's called Productivity 101 with Dave, the ADH guy. Wait, what's this channel called? World's Best Recipes Dave. Yeah, that's me. Guys, it's kind of a joke, the World's Best Recipes thing. If you didn't realize it, I'm not the best chef. I'm just a guy trying to cook, and therefore it's kind of a gag, the world's best. But hey, you know what? Sometimes I make food that tastes good, and you can try it too. It says in a mixing bowl, combine the shredded chicken, the cheese, cheddar cheese, bell peppers, red onion, cilantro, garlic powder, paprika, salt, pepper, blah, blah, blah. Mix well until evenly combined. We could do that, but we have to prep all those other ingredients. So let's do that. First, I'm gonna get a cutting board, and we're gonna work on these other ingredients. All right, cutting board. Productive Dave. 1/4 cup of chopped bell peppers, assorted colors. That's not very much chopped bell pepper. I might just do 2 colors. I got 3 colors, but if it's only a 1/4 cup, I don't know if I wanna use them all. Let's see, what's Barbie-ish? I've got red, orange, and yellow, and I want it to be Barbie-ish. I'm thinking red and yellow would be kind of Barbie themed. Then an onion and cilantro. So that's what we need. Let me rinse these really quick and then we'll chop them. Finally, chopped bell peppers, assorted colors, a 1/4 cup. So I'm basically just gonna cut the bottoms off of these. Look at that, don't you love the beautiful peppers? I love peppers, they're just so good. They taste like nothing, but they're still somehow great. They have a little bit of a flavor.
Instead of French toast for breakfast? Why not eat a bell pepper? When you crave something sugary, eat a bell pepper. Want a beer? Bell pepper.
It's not the safest way to cut, but yeah, we only need a 1/4 cup, so we're just gonna chop these up. And again, we're making Barbie's Dreamland Bites. Like, I think if we make these, Margot Robbie's gonna show up. Hey, you know, maybe one day my channel will be so big that like I do a movie recipe and the actors or actresses show up on the show. It's like, today we're making Barbie's Dreamland Bites with special guest Margot Robbie. And she like just walks into the kitchen. How cool would that be? It'd be moderately cool. It wouldn't be like amazingly cool, but it would be moderately cool. And if it ever happens, I'm gonna cut in this segment where, you know, you can see the look in my eyes when I didn't think that would ever happen, because I don't think it will. But just in case, you know, I like to prepare myself in the weird eventuality that something did happen. Let's step off the delusion train and focus on what we're doing here. Okay, so there's our peppers, nice and chopped. That's over a 1/4 cup already. Just to confirm, the chicken's still over there in the pot, boiling, a 1/4 cup. This is a small yield. yield, but there you go, quarter cup. See? Even with how little I did, it's still a little too much. So that's extra. So I'm gonna store these for later. And when I say store them for later, I mean put them in a bag, put them in the fridge, and then in 3 months, when they look rotten, remember they exist and throw them out, because I'm really bad at remembering leftover stuff. But look, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't forget this time, guys. Maybe, you never know. All right, so up next we got a red onion. How much red onion do we need? We need only a quarter cup again. This is but it's an appetizer, so it makes sense that it's a small recipe. So obviously, if you want more of this, you could totally make a bigger recipe. You could double it, you could triple it, you could quadruple it, whatever you want to get as much as you need for your party or event. Honestly, for my family, this will probably be more than enough, so I'm not really complaining that it's a small yield. And we'll also see how small it actually is. It seems small. 1 cup of chicken, or yeah, was it 1 cup? 1 pound of chicken. No, it says 1 cup of cooked shredded chicken. Okay, so this might be a very, very small yield. Maybe we should just double it. I think I'm going to. I think I already have enough peppers chopped to double it. Let's check. There's a quarter cup. There's a half a cup, yeah. So we've already doubled it. So we're just gonna double it. And I know I've got at least 2 cups of chicken cooking over there. So that means we're gonna double everything unless I forget to double something, in which case I fail. But hopefully that's not the case. This is pretty much chopped. It says a quarter cup. So again, we just want a half a cup. You know, I just thought of something. They call this a red onion, but it really, but it really is a purple onion. They should call it a purple onion. Maybe let's talk to Big Onion and see if we can get that changed. See, this is way more than a half a cup, but that's okay. So we're doubling the recipe, ChatGPT. I think that's allowed. I think that's within the realm of allowed adjustments. Just double it so we have a bigger yield. Hopefully I have enough puff pastry, because puff pastry comes into that. Say puff pastry 10 times fast. Puff pastry, puff pastry, puff pastry. Okay, 1 and 2. All right, so here's our half cup of onion. I might chop that even finer. I might chop all that finer. There's nothing finer than being in your diner.
Nothing's finer than being in your diner.
That's a Seinfeld quote, guys. If you haven't ever seen the show, I recommend it. It's pretty good. It's in the 90s. I think you've heard of it. Look at that, that was way too much onion. I'll save this too, and this one I'm definitely gonna not forget about. Oh look, my chicken's overflowing. Turn down my heat. Turn down my heat to medium, I think. I know what you're thinking, oh viewer. You're thinking, Dave, why didn't you use a larger dish? Well, let me be real with you, because this is a for real cooking show. I didn't want to wash them. They're all dirty. So I used the tiny one, hoping that I'd make it work. So yeah, now you know. There's my dirty little secret, literally and figuratively. My dish is dirty. My dishes are dirty? I have multiple that I could have used, but they're all dirty. So yeah, my dishes are dirty. And that's what makes this a relatable cooking show. You know, I don't have 50,000 clear glass dishes that are in perfect condition for every time I do a recipe. That ain't me. All right, what do we gotta do next? Cheddar cheese, we gotta measure that out. 1 cup, because we're doubling everything. Let me get 1 cup of cheddar cheese. And try a little cup. Oh, there's some onion on the ground I just stepped on. That's cute. I wonder if the dog will eat that. Probably not. Probably have to clean up. Probably gonna have to bend over and clean up. All right, so we should maybe rename this the Barbie Dave's Lazy Dream Nuggets, or whatever they're called. What did they call them? The Dreamland Bites. The Dreamland Bites. Is that what her home is called? Dreamland? Ooh, the oven's preheated. That's exciting. All right, cup of cheddar cheese. We're gonna need that. Oh wait, is that right? Yeah, because it's half a cup and we're doubling. Then up next, we need cilantro. Get this out of here. This is all getting mixed together, which is why I'm not stressing too much about mixing things up. Here's my cilantro. Let me give it a rinse and then I'll bring it back. And how much cilantro do we need? We need a quarter cup, so a half a cup. That's probably right around there. And just finely chop that. That's gonna go into the mix as well. I do love cilantro. It's one of my favorites. So I'm certainly not gonna complain. Now again, I know a lot of people hate cilantro. It's a divisive herb.
Hate. Double hate.
It's a divisive herb. You remember the herbs in Resident Evil, the games? Wow, okay, I need a lot more cilantro. There's a quarter cup. Why am I talking about Resident Evil? That's not relatable. Okay, chop up the cilantro as much as I can here. Get another quarter cup. See, the problem is it squishes down, so I feel like my measurement might be off slightly. It seems like it's gonna be cilantro forward. Can that really be how much they want? It says that. Half a cup, so as much cilantro as onions. I would say if you're making this at home and hate cilantro, don't do this step. Leave the cilantro out. All right, checking on the chicken. Still looks like chicken. I can check the internal temp. I got a little thermo pen monitor thing. Where did it go? Did I lose it? I think I lost it. Chicken's at a medium rare 112. Definitely don't want to eat it at that temp. So we're gonna turn up the heat again and let it cook a little longer. So all this is gonna go into a mixing dish. So let me get my mixing dish ready. All right, here's a big bowl for mixing. Now this still had some frosting in it from my Barbie dessert recipe that I had ChatGPT help us with, which you can check out on the channel. That should already be out on the channel and live as we speak. Even though some inside baseball I haven't finished yet, this is a Barbie that's gonna go on the cake, and I'm terrified that I'm gonna ruin it and make it look stupid. But hey, you know what? If you wanna watch me fail, I might fail in that one, so check out that one. I'll leave her over here. She's getting ready for the cake video. Okay, so we got a mixing bowl, and what we wanna do is we wanna take said mixing bowl, put the cheese in it, put the cilantro in it, the onions, and the pepperonis. They're not pepperonis, the peppers. Put that all in there. Ooh, that smells fresh and delicious. Big fan of what's going on visually and aromatically. How fancy did that sound, aromatically? And clean up my mess again. Such a good cleaner. So proud of myself. I figured we could work on this because we can go ahead and add the spices. It says we need to add garlic powder, paprika, salt, pepper. Salt, garlic powder, paprika, pepper. How much of each? Oh, we're doubling everything. Did we double everything there? We doubled the cheese, right? Half a cup, we did a cup, yes. Okay, so to double the paprika means we need 1 teaspoon. Okay, so let's take a teaspoon of paprika and put it in there. Now this is a half teaspoon measuring spoon, but we'll just do it twice. Math, good stuff. Okay, and then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And so that means 4 of these, because these are half a teaspoon. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know I like to keep it complicated. So what I'm saying, guys, is 1 teaspoon of garlic powder is what it calls for, but I'm doing 2 teaspoons because I'm doubling the recipe, just so I'm abundantly clear. Salt and pepper to taste. I don't know. I'll just take a dash of salt and a scooch of pepper. Like that. Oh, that's kind of a lot of pepper. It'll be all right. And then we're gonna mix that up. I don't really know if giving me a measurement that says to taste works on a recipe like this, because I'm certainly not gonna grab a spoon and taste this. It's just veggies. I guess it will have chicken in it, but even then I don't think I'm really gonna wanna taste it. I mean, it looks light and airy. It looks like a salad. I don't know. Let's see what it says next. Chicken's at like 145, so we're gonna let it do its thing. I'm gonna clean off this counter because we're about to have to do some like pastry stuff on it, and I want it to be nice and clean, not have any salt or anything like that on it. Okay, so good news. I did some dishes. The chicken is done, and you know, just gorgeous. Not really. I mean, it's not that appetizing of a way to cook chicken, but boy, is it efficient at cooking chicken. Look how stringy it looks. Doesn't look amazing, but it's 165 degrees all the way through, which is the key. And it's gonna be mixed in with a bunch of other stuff, so I think it's gonna be fine. Like I said, it's the world's laziest way to cook chicken, but it's the way I like to do it now. When I'm gonna shred it and put it into a recipe, I just think it's so much easier than anything else to just do it this way. It also just shreds super easy, so you can't go wrong, really. Can't go wrong. Probably say it took about 20 minutes, maybe 15, probably 15. I know I've read before, like, put it in with it not boiling, bring it up to a boil, and then lower the temperature to like medium high and let it boil for 10 minutes, generally, is what I've heard. Now, I would still check the temperature once you've done all that and make sure it's up to the 165, because, you know, you can get salmonella and stuff if you don't cook your chicken all the way. You wanna make sure you do that, which we have done. And now we're just shredding it. And once it's all shredded, it'll go in with veggies that we prepped, which we need to decide how soon we wanna do that. Do we wanna cool it? The only thing that has me hesitate and say, oh, we should let it cool a little is the fact that it could burn the cheese. Like, not burn the cheese, but melt the cheese. And I don't know if we really want the cheese melted. So we might wait a minute. I mean, this is pretty shredded, and it's actually too hot to do it with my fingers. So I'm gonna stick with the fork. I chopped it a little. You know, I know it calls for shredded, but shredded / chopped, same idea. It's in small pieces, that's the key. Either way, it's nice and small now, and it should work in this little, what are they called? Barbie Dreamland Bite recipe. Let me get the puff pastry out of the fridge. Now this chicken is gonna go in with the veggie mix that we have here, the little like salad thing I made. I'm gonna let it cool a little bit more behind me while I work on the puff pastry. Puff pastry. Today, Junior.
Today, Junior?
All right, so for the puff pastry, we wanna take our puff pastry, which I got at the store. I got this Just Roll puff pastry, flaky layered, and that's gonna go onto a floured surface. So here's some flour, and here's the surface. So here's our floured surface. See, look at that. We're brilliant. We're gonna open this up. And it says to lay it flat on the countertop, which I don't think I've ever bought a puff pastry before, but I imagined this would be what it would be like when I did buy it. Just like a long kind of pizza doughy kind of thing. It smells sweeter than pizza dough though, I'll say that. Lay it flat on the countertop there. And let's see what ChatGPT says next. It says cut the sheets into small rectangular pieces, 2 inches by 3 inches. It'd be cool to have a pizza cutter. That would be ideal, but I don't. So we're gonna use a knife because whatever, we'll use what we got. All right, 2 inches by 3 inches. So let's see, 1 inch, 2 inch. So what I'll do is I'll just make a vertical slice. Is that vertical or horizontal? Yeah, that's about 2 inches. And then I'll do it again and again. Not very hard, I mean it's dough, so you don't have to push hard. Not to damage your counter, which I feel like I'm going to if I'm not careful. I don't know, should this be the 3 inch cut or the 2 inch cut? Say this is a 2 inch, which means the other cut should be 3. 1, 2, 3, like there. Yeah, rectangles it says. Actually, it looks like sliding doesn't work. You wanna push down, basically 3 pieces here. Like that, and last but not least. Okay, so now we have a bunch of little rectangles. That's good. This definitely is starting to look like Barbie's Dreamland Bites, whatever that is. I mean, ChatGPT doesn't give me a picture, so I like how, whatever it looks like, it looks right. All right, so since it's been a couple minutes, we are going to go ahead and add the chicken in with this other stuff. Now, we only need 2 cups, so I'm gonna measure it, because I feel like I still ended up with way too much chicken. Okay, here's 1 cup, and my fork is down in there, and 2 cups. And then we're gonna mix it all up. I might take some of these bigger chunks of chicken and kind of tear them up a little. Yeah, basically I think we're on the right path. Just mix that all, integrate it together. And these are gonna be Dreamland Bites from Barbie. Barbie's Dreamland Bites. Well, sounds kind of good. Okay, so next step it says, and I feel like this is where it's gonna get moderately complicated. Okay, it says take a spoonful of the filling, all right, and put it onto one of the puff pastries. So let's do that. That's a spoonful, right? Like so, okay? Can you see that one? There's a spoonful of filling. And then it says, fold the pastry over to create a little pouch. So do you think that's horizontally or vertically? I don't know. What if we just turned it into like a little, yeah, like a little pouch? Yeah, like that, okay? Little pouch, and squeeze it together. What's it say next? Use a fork to press down and seal the edges. So wait, am I pressing down the whole thing? Oh, I think I did that wrong. Okay, so this will be our first Barbie Dreamland Bite. I think it's wrong. I think what it wants me to do, it's not very clear with these instructions. Take the spoonful, put it on one, make a mess on the counter, and I think it's like a pocket. Oh, so that's probably too big of a spoonful. And I fold it over like that to make like a little pocket, and then when I put the sides down, oh boy, way too much meat in this one. Okay, so the third one is gonna be the good one, guys. You just, all right, that one's terrible. Let's put that aside. This one's for the big money, okay? Way less filling. Way less filling. Like, that's still too much filling. Like that, okay? Then we're gonna go over like this, push it down. There we go. Then we take the fork and we push down the edges like so. There. It's like a little ravioli, kinda. See what I did there? I think that's what they want me to do. I was just putting way too much filling, which means I made way too much filling because these don't get much each. All right, so let's try it again. Put a little filling in it, fold it over, press it down on all the sides, and take our fork. Look, I'm getting better at this. Getting a little better. Boom, Dreamland Bite. Bite me, Dreamland. And I think I'm gonna get better and better, okay? So let me just keep doing them. Let's do one more on camera and then I'll finish them and come back. Because I feel like this one's gonna be the perfect one. I've now finally got the gist of it. Okay, wait, wipe my hands because they got all that sauce and stuff on them. Although I guess there's no sauce. Pop this down. Like so, oops. Perfect. There you go, the Dreamland Bite. And there's another step, we gotta cook them obviously, but let me finish all of them and then we'll come back. Stand by. Okay, so not too long later, a couple minutes, I have finished all of these and they look pretty good. I got better as I went. The next step it says is to do an egg wash other than this weird one I did. And in case you don't know what an egg wash is, oops, sorry doggo, my dog's in here. Basically just take an egg, break it open, put it in a bowl, try not to get too much shell in it, and then mix it up. So, you know, like you're making some scrambled eggs. Perfect. Then you take a little brush. Now I'm using like a grilling brush. I'm probably supposed to use a pastry brush, and just put the egg all over the top. And from what I understand, that's gonna give it the nice golden look of a pastry when it's all said and done. So I'm just gonna apply this egg wash to all the little Barbie Dreamland bites here. This is definitely not the right kind of brush. Usually I think you're supposed to use ones with smaller bristles, which I might have, but I don't know. There's, you know, part of me just likes triggering people, and that's why I use the wrong tools for the job. I can't help it. You know, trolls, gotta troll. All right, I'll be right back. Let me get all these and then we'll be back in a second. Okay, so now we're just gonna put these into the oven, which is set at 400 for 15 to 20 minutes, and they should be good. Oh, it does say I can garnish them with a little extra cilantro for a pop of color once they're done. Well, I don't know that I necessarily saved the cilantro, but it also says, these Barbie-inspired Dreamland bites are not only delicious, but also a fun and whimsical appetizers to enjoy while watching your favorite Barbie movie. All right, let's give it 15 minutes. We'll come back. We're gonna taste them and see if they really are the world's best Barbie appetizer. Okay guys, it's been 20 minutes with the Barbie Dreamland bites cooking. We're gonna take them out and see how they look. Hopefully they don't look terrible. A lot of times stuff I cook looks terrible. All right, we got some that look good and some that look terrible, so that's fine. Oh, there's your Barbie Dreamland bites. I brought over a plate, and look, it's pink because Barbie. And we're gonna put some onto the plate. Oh, and look, they pop right off. Look at that. That looks pretty good, right? Let's just set them on a plate. I'm gonna get a spatula. Okay, so what I would say with the whole quantity thing, I ended up with a ton of extra filling, chicken and such. I would recommend buying 2 things of the puff pastry dough because you'll have enough to make multiple of these. Okay, so I'll tell you something. It's a non-voluntary response I have when food smells good, and I think it's pretty normal. Sometimes my mouth will water, and my mouth is literally watering at the smell of these, so I think that's a really good sign. They might really be from Barbie's Dreamland, and we could be about to have a delicious snack. So, I mean, how can we make them look more Barbie-ish? I don't really know that they look all that Barbie-ish, even though they're supposed to. We could put Barbie next to them, right? We can hold them up. We could put some like tissue paper near them. I mean, I kind of get it, right? The puff pastry, it's like a dream, right? We got a little napkin here. We could, I don't know, let's just try them and see if they really are the world's best appetizer that's Barbie themed. I mean, we're getting very specific at this point. They're good, actually. I'm instantly craving to like dip them in some ketchup or something. I mean, to come out of the brain of AI is really quite good. The only thing, and I sensed this when I was cooking, I think I have a bit of a cooking instinct. I sensed this when I was making them. It's cilantro heavy. And I told you, that seems like a lot of cilantro. If you're gonna do every ingredient I said, do a 1/4 cup of cilantro instead of a half or whatever. Do half of whatever cilantro I did because it's a bit cilantro heavy, but it is actually a very good appetizer. It's like light, airy, and it's not too filling. So, and it's, you know, it's good. I think it's a good appetizer you could bring out at your Barbie themed party, put it on a nice pink plate, pink napkins, you know. You could even put a little label there that says Barbie, what are they called? Barbie Dreamland Bites. It kind of feels like you're biting into a cloud, which is I think where the name came from. So I would say try them. I think they're like 8 out of 10, 7.5, 8 out of 10. They're not like blowing my socks off, but again, I think they need like ketchup or ranch. Like I want to dip them in a couple things. Maybe I'll try that. We're breaking new grounds having AI design our meal, so we might as well try it with different dips and see which one works. Let me try the ketchup first. That's good. Let me try the ranch. Also works really well. Let's try the barbecue. Ugh, the barbecue doesn't work. Don't do the barbecue. One more thing we could try. I just had an inspiration that maybe buffalo sauce would be the thing to go with. Got a little buffalo sauce here. Okay, if you make these, you can try any of them. I want you to make them, and I want you to tell me below what you think of AI's creation. Do you think it's good? Do you think you'd remake it after you make it once? I think I might. I like it. It was easy to make. I like the ranch the best on it, followed by the ketchup, then the buffalo, then the barbecue. If you want to try some dipping sauces, definitely try ranch. That's really good on it. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's the Barbie themed Dreamland bites. As I said, AI says that they are fun and whimsical. If you agree, hit the like button, subscribe, and come back next time where maybe we'll be doing world's best Oppenheimer dish, because that movie's coming out. That'd be fun. Or whatever else might be trending on Google or YouTube.